modular system that I built. I think I built it quite a while ago, but I've been meaning to shoot a video for it for quite a while. But I just got a new camera, so I figured it would be a good time. I'm also thinking about rebuilding the case for this into more of like just a square or more like rectangular case that just fits better in my studio. So I wanted to do some video with it in this case because I like the way it looks. But yeah, it's all 100% homemade. I found all the schematics in various places online. Almost everything is analog besides there's one digital module that is just a MIDI to CV converter. But the panel designs, most of them are just photo transfer, which I learned from the Steady Crafting channel. And some of them are resin poured into the lettering and whatnot. But yeah, it's all, there's no PCBs or anything on the inside. It's all just done on proto board. Really rough. I kind of just wanted to go back to soldering wires on stuff for a while, and I learned quite a bit just making these modules and kind of learning how to read schematics and stuff, which I had no real knowledge of before this project. But yeah, we can get into the individual modules. So this first top row here, the very first module is a digital module I built. This is using a Teensy, and it's a basic MIDI to CV converter. So it has 3 outputs here for pitch, and it also has a velocity and a gate output. The MIDI, the USB is USB-B, so you have to hook it through a computer or something. You can't just hook up a MIDI controller straight to it, but that's how my studio is set up anyway. So yeah, it has a polyphonic and monophonic switch. So if it's in mono, they're all the same. If it's poly, it does like some stacking depending on how many voices there are. So if you only press one key, all 3 of them come out the first one, and then they just kind of get distributed as you press it, the other keys. And then there's a big offset knob at the top that just kind of moves the voltage around. So yeah, it works perfect for, I built it for these next 3 modules, which are just VCOs. These are based on the SEM3340, just a knockoff chip that I found. And they're all identical. They have pitch, they have FM input, have pulse width modulation, and then just a pulse width knob. And then they have a triangle, sawtooth, and square outputs. So yeah, all these 3 are the same. They sound pretty nice all together. And then the next module is a mixer. It's just a real simple, 4 in and then output and inverted output. So yeah, I usually just plug all the voices into there. And the last one on this top row is a MS-20 filter. I think I found, this is an old Look Mum No Computer schematic I found. But yeah, just frequency, resonance, and then it has a CV input to control the frequency and a knob for that. So yeah, that's pretty much the top row. Alright, so the bottom row of modules, the first one is a simple active multiple. So it has an input that goes to 3 outputs on the left, and then the identical thing on the right. So it's just a simple mult. The next one here is 3 LFOs. So the first 2 have a variable shape, and all the way to the left on the shape knob it's like a sawtooth, and then in the middle it's more like a triangle, and then all the way to the right it's like a reverse sawtooth. So there's that, and then the rate knob, it's just how fast it goes, and first 2 are pretty much identical, but the second one goes quite a bit faster. It has a terribly bright blue LED. And then the very last LFO is just a square, which you can use as just a gate. So the next module is more like a utility module I built. It's a couple modules sort of stuffed into one. The first is a slew. So there's an input, and it's like a glide. So input goes to the output, and then that is normaled down into these connections down here, which so you can plug one thing in and have it go to it's just another multiple inside of there. And then the very bottom of that is just a voltage offset, so it's an input and an output, and you can move the voltage around. So the next module is a dual envelope generator. So it's just a attack and release. And there's the input, and there's a switch for either a trigger or a gate. So if it's on gate, it will be held high as long as the note is held, or the gate signal is high. If it's on the trigger mode, it just generates one cycle of that envelope. And it's the same for the bottom one. Also, the the top gate is actually normal down to the bottom, so you can just put one gate in and get two envelopes out of it at the same time. And the next module is a simple noise generator that has a lot of different noise. It has blue noise, white noise, pink noise, and red noise. And it's just a little 2 HP one. And then we go to another mixer. This is like a dual mixer. So it has two inputs and an output and an inverted output with knobs. And it's just the exact same thing on the bottom as well. Two inputs, output, inverted output. And then the very last module is a dual VCA. So this just has a top knob on each section is just a gain, and then the bottom knob is a CV amount. So input's on the left, CV amount is in the center, and the output is on the right. And there's just two of them there. And that's pretty much the whole bottom row. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole system. I think it took me some months to build all of it and just kind of learn how to read schematics and whatnot. But yeah, all the sounds you hear in this video were just a direct out from the modules and straight into my Zoom recorder. So if you do get into this stuff, I recommend buying a whole lot more parts than you need, because they are super cheap. And also, I'd recommend using sockets for the chips, just in case you burn something out. You can just swap a new chip in. But yeah, the whole thing's powered by a Erebus power supply, and I'm not sure if I'm underpowering some modules or not, but they all seem to be acting normally. All the VCOs track really well. They stay in tune. So this is just another system to my other Eurorack system that was all just stuff I bought, but I wanted to get into doing some DIY, and this was the end result, this system here. And yeah, if you are into Eurorack and you find modules really expensive and you're into doing DIY stuff, I would definitely recommend just looking up schematics, and I'll try to put some links and stuff in the description so you can get started.